I was working for a computer company and I was selling Apple Macintosh computers way before they had Apple stores. And I was a top sales guy. I was really good. I was beating my quotas and I had customers who loved me. And there was a day, it was a Friday, and it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The manager of the store was on vacation. So this other guy running the store, his name was Gary. I got a call that my father had a heart attack and he was in the hospital and it was over an hour drive away. And I asked Gary, can I go and see my father? He says, no, you have to work your shift because we're shorthanded and you got to stay here until 7 o'clock, which was sad, but I worked my shift. And at 7 o'clock, I said, Gary, my dad's in the hospital. May I have permission to go now? And he said, yes, go. So I left, spent the weekend with my father, came back on Monday. The manager came back in the store and she called me into her office. And she says, where were you on Friday? And I told her about my father. And I'm like, why? It was like a kind of a interrogation. And she said, after you left the store, some men came into the store with masks on and weapons and they locked Gary in the back room and they took all the computers. And I was like, this is terrible. I had nothing to do with it. And she said, okay, go back to your job. And I was there for 3 or 4 more weeks. And later they called me back into her office and said, we have to terminate your employment. And I said, why? Remember that robbery? I said, I didn't steal any computers. I had nothing to do with that. And they said, we know, but the insurance company says they will not pay the claim until we do something, take responsibility
Oh,
for the robbery. And they said, I broke a company policy. By the way, I was never educated in this company policy, but you need to have two people in the store at lockup. And you weren't there. I had permission to leave. And I didn't know that. And I was devastated. And I thought, do I have any rights as an employee? And I talked to an attorney and he's nobody has rights. You don't have an employment contract. The attorney said you can write a letter and ask for your job back. And I did, and they would not give it back. They fired me so they could get the insurance money. And one of the lessons I learned is sometimes you get hired for all the right reasons. Sometimes you get hired for all the wrong reasons. Sometimes you get fired for all the right reasons. And sometimes you get fired for all the wrong reasons. I was pissed off because I got fired for the wrong reasons. I was a good employee. I was good sales. I had happy customers. It was one of those days that kind of turns your life around. And I made a decision that never, ever again am I going to be an employee. And that's the day I decided I was going to figure out this entrepreneur thing. I was going to have my own business and I was going to make it.